Alright. What is up? This is alertwolf here. I'm going to bring you a Tron review. This is Tron, I believe, episode 10. And this one's called Scars Part 2. Alright, let's jump right into it. It starts, obviously, where the last one left off, with Beck on the floor and Tron running out on his speeder bike there to go after Dyson. You know, Beck is just momentarily stunned. He gets up, he sees where Tron's going, and he's angry about it too a little bit. And he wants to stop Tron from doing something he's going to regret, you know. Something that's against his ideals. So, you know, basically, he chases after him on a speeder bike, and then it's Tron versus Beck. This was a great moment. Basically, they're going at each other with the light trails, and they're going in and out and in and out, and you know, Beck finally feels like he outdoes Tron, and he boxes him in. Tron jumps off his bike, collapses it back into the stick, over where they were going, turns it back on. That was epic. It was nasty. And then he keeps going, and then they're racing head for head, and you know, he's like, "Cut it out, man. This isn't you. You know, this is Beck. Cut it out, Tron. I don't know. You got to stop. I'm gonna stop you." And what happens is a little game of chicken, and Beck is forced to stop. Tron gets away, and you know, and then the next thing we see is basically Tesla is yelling at his two subordinates because he's like, "Listen, I thought I said I didn't want anything to go wrong around him. I want you guys to take care of this. We can't have. I don't want to hear that name again." And he's like, and then Dyson comes out. He's like, "Who would that be? I wonder." You know. So there's a little give and play there, and you know, so they basically, he's like, we need to start chasing them. He's like, "But I need, you know, where's my guides?" So Tesla sends those two, you know, his subordinates after him, and basically, they're walking into the power core area of the place, and the coolant starts to leak, and she's like, "No, to be real honest, you know," right before this, she's telling Dyson that he's not that big of an issue. He's more of a nuisance, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to take your word for it. You know, now I know your word doesn't mean anything, basically." And she figures out it wasn't a Tron or, you know, Beck at this point, but it was, you know, the other dude who's constantly, you know, his whole purpose right now is to undermine, you know, Pavel's whole purpose is to undermine what's going on, so he looks good, but Tesla looks bad. And again, she's like, "What are you doing? Stop faking it. I know it was you. Stop making lies." Because he was like, "Oh, I found it like this." And he's like, "Listen, I don't know what's wrong with you. Tesla's going down. And we, his loyal top subordinates, are going down with him unless we jump ship now." And she goes, "Again, you really want to form a secret alliance with me?" And he thinks about it. He's like, yeah. She's like, "No, you make me sick." She goes, "I have evidence it's you, but but again, she's not trying to rat anybody out. She's just wanting him to cut his shit, basically. And he's right though. If Tesla goes down, they're going to be the first two to go down with him. But we get a flashback. We get a flashback of what happened to Tron and everybody else. And they were all being reprogrammed. Alright, and again, guys, the slight discrepancy between the movie and this, when he was in that chamber, and I was like, oh, he's going to get reprogrammed like everybody else is getting reprogrammed. this explains why he's the way he is. But no. It goes darker, but they could have used this moment to connect the movie and the thing seamlessly, but they didn't do that. And what happens here is they basically in the flashback Dyson has him, and he's gonna do some work on him, and he doesn't, so he's not getting reprogrammed, but he's in a chair, and Dyson is like gonna do stuff to him. All right, and then we get out of the flashback, and basically, Beck and Tron are there. Tron is there, and he's gonna go after Dyson, and they're in that area anyway. And Beck's like, dude, he's like, oh, Tron, without even turning his head, is like, yeah, I'm impressed to see you follow me here. He's like, of course, and I'm gonna stop you too. Cut this out, cut it out. And then more Beck versus Tron. Tron and Beck start fighting. Beck is really no match for Tron. I mean, it's his master. You know what I mean? Like, he's teaching Beck how to do crap. It's tough to beat your master. So, they fight it out on a catwalk, and then Tron handcuffs Beck to the railing, takes his disc, and puts it against the wall. And he's like, listen, this is time activated, so when it releases, you'll be good, but by then I'll have killed my target, basically. He gets revenge on Dyson. And then Dyson's trying to call Beck out. And he's like, I know you're... Or Beck, excuse me. Tron out. I know who you think you are, Renegade, but you're not him. And Tron plays him. He does the... Dyson does the footprint thing. He follows... Because there's a lot of mist on the ground. Because of the coolant link. So he follows where it leads, and he sees the Tron symbol lit up. And he's like, haha, and it turned out to be bombs, and he exploded something, and it was a big explosion, like the catwalk that Beck was on broke, and it's like, oh man, this is getting good, and now it's gonna be Tron versus friggin' Dyson, and this fight is gonna be good. So they start fighting back and forth. Well, it's pretty good, man. The fight between them, Dyson has like a electrified rope on his disc, so he can swing it back and do all sorts of different maneuvers. And Dyson's was his number 2 for a long time, so he knows how to fight. And they're fighting back and forth, and he's handling Tron pretty good. He's taking it to him, and he almost gets him a few times. And then during this, we get another little flashback that basically Tron was tortured by Dyson in that rack. Yeah, and they're like, the guards are like, why doesn't he scream? Everybody else screams. And the other guard is like, oh, because he's Tron. And they're like, oh, enough said. You know what I'm saying? He's that badass that people are like, oh, you just have to say who he is and it makes sense. And so Tron never screams. He's being tortured by him. He's like, I want you to joining us willingly, as opposed to being transformed, or reprogrammed. And he takes he had this little medical saw, and he took it to Tron's face, and they zoom out so you don't get to see it. But when they come back in, and then and it's pretty crazy. So, you know what? I'm just gonna get rid of all the flashbacks here, because why not? So the next part of the flashback is, the guards look at his face when it's time to bring him out, and his face is all crumbled on this whole side, similar to what was done to him. And the guards agreed to take him away. They were going to put him on the Imperial ship and take him... I guess they were taking him to Clue. Then the ship starts to explode. And I knew the ship... When Dyson turned around, I knew the ship was going to blow up. And the ship did blow up. And... part of it exploded. It went to crash in the mountain area. And you think it's Tron, and you see it's really the guard. I think his name is Siler or Silent, something like that. Silent, and he's like, let me help you out. And he helps him off the thing, gets him out of the ship. And, alright, so, you know what? Now I remember. There we go. So let me just get back to the fight. So the fight goes on. He's like, you're not really Tron. Yeah, because it stops after the explosion. There we go. The flashback stops after the explosion. He goes, I am Tron. And, poof, you know, the mask comes off. And he's like, no, you can't be. You're dead. And basically, this gives him the upper hand. He's about to kill him. Beck finally breaks free. You know, because he's dangling for a while there. The disc falls. He catches it. He cuts himself free. And he's like, he's running from platform to platform. And he's trying to figure out a way to stop Tron from killing him at the critical moment. But just then he has the last part of the flashback, because he's going to kill this guy. He's going to kill it. And the last part of the flashback is words that basically Beck said to him early in the episode, you know, was, he goes, why did you save me, to the guard? He goes, well, I don't want you to die before this revolution gets started, basically. And he wants him to start this revolution. So those words echoed into his head. So he didn't kill Dyson. He goes to Dyson. He's like, the reason why you're still alive is I have a message for you. And a message for your boss. And he walks away, basically saying, I'm alive, bitches. What? And, so they leave. And, you know, we cut back to Paige is walking in. Right, Paige? I always forget if I get that right. No, I'm right. Right, Paige walks in to Tesla, and Pavel's there, and he's like, my bad. She's like, my bad. I'm going to take full responsibility. The fact that he got away, you know, for the fact that I lost Dyson and what happened. And he goes, no. What are you talking about? I'm going to commend you guys. Did a great job. He ran away with his tail between his legs, afraid. He goes, he is out of here and out of my hair, and we're good. I should have you two work together more often. You guys. You know, and Pavel gives her the look like, see, told you we should be working together. And then we get a scene of Dyson arriving at Clue's headquarters. And Dyson goes to Clue. I have a message. Sorry, I'm so tired for some reason. I have a message from our old friend. I've seen him with my own eyes. Tron lives. And then Clue says something that is a hint to everybody that shit's about to go badly. He goes, so who else knows about this? And who have you told about this? Who else knows about this? Those are always lines like, uh-oh, somebody's about to die. Like, that's a secret. And so I thought for a second Dyson was going to kill him, because the guard and Dyson look at each other at the same time like, fuck, this isn't going to end well. So the guard goes to attack Dyson. Dyson obviously is better than his guard, kills the guard, and goes, no one. Good, I want to keep it that way. And I'm like, oh, yes, good stuff. And so that's the episode. That's how it ends. You know, this episode was I thought it was great. I thought it was another excellent episode. The fights between Beck and and Tron were great, were awesome. The fight between, and there were a couple of them, there was the hand-to-hand and the speeder bike fight. The fight between Dyson and Tron was badass. So I'm going to give this one, you know what? My bad. The episode didn't end there. The episode ends back at the base, and they talk about it, and basically it's like, you know, Tron apologizes. He's like, listen, I didn't do it because of you. You know, you helped talk me down. And Beck is like, this was never really about his disc. He goes, And Tron's like, we both know what this was about, but I'm glad I didn't do it. And so, all right. And he goes, but I do owe you an apology. He goes to walk away, and Beck's like, does that mean I get time off? He goes, yeah, what do you think? All right, and that's how the episode ends. But, well, whatever. So, again, as I was saying, I thought this episode was really good. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I thought the whole 1 hour special, if you want to call it, it's not a special, but the 2-parter, that the whole story altogether was a 5 out of 5. We learned a lot about Tron and the history there, and exactly how the takeover happened. So I really enjoyed it. I thought the action scenes were great. We got some good development out of the characters. We got some good knowledge, and so that's it. That's my review, and click it up if you like it. Subscribe if you can. Comment if you must. And this is Alert Wolf signing off.